Yo, what is going on, guys? Bot Mentality here, and today we're going to be discussing one of my all-time favorite tickers now, guys. That is BYND, Beyond Meat. This one has been paying since the IPO. I've been trading it pretty heavily for the past like 3 weeks, and I have been enjoying it every single week. And we've had a lot of opportunity here since we had that gap up on earnings. And really, I just wanted to make a video to walk you guys through what my trade, how I traded, what my thought process was behind that. And I've been looking all over the internet, guys. I checked Reddit, I checked recent uploads on YouTube, and there really isn't any value add content, or at least not a lot of it on this name particularly. I don't really see many trade recaps where they actually went into depth about what the sentiment was going into it, how they handled it, what they made, and kind of break it down step by step. And that's what I wanted to do for you guys. So I want this to be value add to you. You can take tips that you learn from here and apply that to your trading. And as you can see, we're perking up a little bit here after hours. So I have no doubt we're going to get another opportunity on this one, guys. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. And towards the end of the video, you will see that I had to go pay my respects to BYND. I had to. They've been supporting me, so I will support them in return. All right, guys, so let's just jump into BYND. So the first thing I want to talk about here is what was my sentiment initially going into this trade here, guys? What was I thinking? Well, not only did we talk about this thing at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and heading into Monday morning, I also posted on Reddit about it. We'll get back to that part. I posted on Reddit about it here. I just asked people, hey, what are your thoughts on it? Where's everybody's head at? I want to do this sort of as an experiment, heading into it, because I wanted to know where was the general market? What was the general market thinking? What was people's trade plans? I didn't really get any trade plans. I got pretty much a bunch of bullish calls. People saying, we're going to 200. It's the next till rate. We're going to 1,000. It's, going to the moon. And there was the exact opposite. The guys who are like, this is overvalued. They have the fundamental Bible, right? They're like, this is trading so far above its sales, we're going down. And there were those people as well. But I was having trouble finding people giving exact entry and exit and, what strike are they looking at, or when are they looking to get long? When are they looking to get short? It was just, well, I think we're going to go up from here, but I'll wait till later, to figure out what I'm going to do. So that's why I wanted to start this conversation, guys. I'll link it in the description if you want to go through and read. But here's my main reasons I talked about, okay? For me, BYND had more volume Friday than it did its IPO day. That is a fact. Citron Research is short. I talked about that in previous videos. 50% of the float is short as of May, which is ridiculous, right? Because we have a small float of 4 million, right? Extremely small. Tilray was, 3 times this float. And my last fact was that Citron was also short Tilray under $100. And as you can see, Citron was also short Beyond Meat under $100. And they both ripped to over 180. So pretty much I just said I'm expecting a ton of range. And that's what I want you to focus on when I said I'm expecting a ton of range. And we'll jump in here to how I traded BYND. So what I did was I was looking for the one thing I want you guys to know is, yes, this thing is technically overextended. If you look on the hourly, yeah, we're overextended. Okay, duh. But that doesn't mean we cannot go higher. This thing can be overvalued, but despite that, momentum can carry it forward. So I'm not quite interested in, well, do we deserve to be at this price or not? I'm more interested in which direction are we going. So I want to look out. I want to see what the public sentiment is. I want to see what the technicals are telling me. Do we have any catalyst to support that? Yes, we do. So as you know, Friday, or actually it was Thursday into Friday, we gapped up, right? We gapped up because it had good earnings. That trapped all the shorts that were previously short under the all-time high of 106, right? Everyone who was short under 106 is trapped, okay? Trapped. We see the gap up here into Friday, which means everyone who got short after hours thinking that was the top because BYND doesn't deserve this valuation. They're trapped, right? So we're short, and throughout the whole day, we just were grinding up into the close, okay? And that's set up for today's play, Monday's play. So my thought process is, let's just look at the close. I'm not even going to show today's price action. Let's look at the close. My thought process, seeing this, if I can do this correctly, there we go. Seeing this price action, we closed on Friday. We had an extremely strong trend. Every time we dipped and shorts tried to bail, they couldn't. Okay, they got absolutely demolished, and they were just getting ground on, ground on, ground on. In here into the close, no one wanted to hold. So as we saw this parabolic, as the shorts were covering their positions into the close to get out. And look at this range, guys. We started doing the curl here, at 137, and within an hour, within 30, 45 minutes, we're up 13 points at 150. That is huge range. When you see this kind of range, that means there is going to be opportunity on both sides. When I saw this, I did not care if it was long. I didn't care if I was short, because if you would have bought the calls here and bought the puts here, you would have banked on both, on selling them, just because of the volatility, right? So into the close, we saw a hold here over 135, which is kind of where we started breaking out over. Once we got over 135 here, you saw that we chopped for a second, curled, and then went for the rip. So heading into Monday, what was I looking for? I posted my thoughts as far as the fundamental aspect of it, the reasons why I think this thing's going to have a lot of volatility, but I didn't care. If we would have pulled down to 130, I was definitely looking at the calls. If we would have pushed up to 150, I was looking at the puts. It didn't matter which way it went for me. I did not care. All I knew was that whichever side I got, it was going to bank, right? Because we have so much range. And because the shorts are trapped, I don't think we're just going to go straight down. It's going to be choppy. We're going to see some volatility. So what happened today? Not only did we hold the 135, 130, we gapped up and went through the all-time highs again. That means everyone who shorted here into the close because they just knew this thing was overvalued and we were just going to go to zero because the company doesn't deserve to be priced here, they're all trapped. All those naysayers are trapped. So these are the people that are fueling this move, right? We're at all-time highs. So heading here into pre-market, I'm going to go ahead and just draw the technicals here for you. What was I looking at? Boom, right here. I was looking at the previous all-time high, right? That push there. As you can see, we broke out and volume came in after pre-market when we broke above that. And then at the open, we pulled back to this level and then ripped. So that's what I was watching. There's my range. You can draw a high here. If we're over pre-market highs and we consolidate, I wanted to get long. So one of the things I said in my chat room before the market opened, I even posted it on Reddit, which I don't normally do, but I even posted on Reddit because there was a guy on there. Shout out to that random guy. This guy I was talking to. We were just having a conversation, man. And down here, right here, we were just having a conversation, and he was talking about what he thought was going to happen. I was asking him, what does he think? And I gave him my information here, 20 minutes before the open. I said, hey, I'm getting on both sides at the open. I'm looking at the 180 calls, which is the highest you could get, and the 120 strike puts. Because, he says that's a smart move. Because with this much volatility, there's a high chance you're going to bank on both. And if you don't, if you lose 100% of your puts, let's say they expire worthless or you don't take profits, your calls are probably going to make 2-3 times your puts, what they lost you, right? And that was my thought process. And look how that turned out. So here into the open, I'm just making sure I don't have anything on here. Yeah, here into the open, I'll zoom in. We saw this push up here towards pre-market highs and a pullback. I immediately got the puts. Now on these puts, when we got this pullback here, I bought them, and I bought I will show you exactly what I got. Back to the top here. I bought, these were these right here. I bought 6 of the 120 strike puts at $1.50 each, so I had $900 invested in this trade. I have not sold these yet. I did not sell a single one. I'm still holding these. These were up almost 100%. I was up about $800 on this pullback right here. There was like $700-800 I was up on this yank right here. So I could have took them off, yeah, for near 100%. But I'm looking for more than that, guys. This thing has range. I don't want 158 to 147, right? I got till Friday. I want to see 158 to like 138, right? I want to see this thing get going. I want to see this really start to rip. So there's no worries. So I bought the puts, okay? We bounced and we held here. What happened? We held. Let me zoom in again here. We bounced and we consolidated here around 155. So what am I thinking now? I want the calls. What did I say I was going to do? I said I was getting both sides at the open. Let me go back down to the bottom here. Here's what I put in chat. Look at BYND. It's ripping faces off both sides. I'm looking for both sides on this one far out of the money at open. That's what I said I was going to do. I said that at 9:20 in the morning. What happened? We got this. We started perking up here towards the high, broke above it, consolidate. Boom, I'm in. I'm marketed in the calls. The calls I picked up, back to the top here, guys. The calls I picked up were the 180 calls at $5.30 each. I had 2 of them, so I had $1,660 invested, right? So what happened? We ripped, guys. We absolutely ripped. We took off all the way up. We went from 155 up to 186. Just a long story short, I banked on both sides. Because the volatility was so high, guys, when we were up here at 180, my puts were green. I didn't lose on these puts, guys. My puts were still green. They're only green like what, $100. But because the volatility picked up, people were snapping up those puts. If you don't believe me, go look at the chart for them. They were still up. I got 150, and we are just sitting there at 160, 175, $2 on this yank. They were they almost hit $3. So on those, I was up a ton. But I held the puts. We got this rip up here. We saw this push. Once I saw us come back for the double top, I took them off here at $17 each. So I bought them at $5.30 each. I sold them at $17 each. I made $2,340 off that trade, okay? Remember, I'm still holding the puts. Didn't get rid of $1 of these. I could have sold them for $800, but I'm holding them. I want to see what they end up doing. Even the biggest thing for you guys to take away from this is even if I lost all $900 on these puts, because we just keep going up and up and up, it's paid for. It's 100% paid for because I got long both sides with about the same amount of capital and banked on the calls. So if the puts come back, great. If they don't, I do not care. I banked on this, okay? Another thing I wanted to say is when we pushed up here, we went to this rip and we hit 170 right about here. I also got into 2 of the 150 strike puts in another account. I got 2 of them at $920, so $1,840 invested. I'm just thinking, okay, we're probably going to get a yank from 170 to 160 for me to take these things off. We did. We ended up getting that yank, but we pushed up here, went for the double top, sold those puts. When we pulled back here and got this yank to the 165, I sold the ones I got here at 170, the 150 strike, and it was only for $1 more. So on these, I sold them at 10.20, only made $200, right? 2 of them made a dollar each contract, $200. So all in all, on those 2 trades, I made $2,540 on BYND. I traded it long and I traded it short. I could have made $1,000 today if I would have sold these puts and these puts today. At their highest profit, I would have made an extra $1,000 and I would have made $3,500 today. But like I said, these are paid for. I am not worried about them. I'm holding them in the event something crazy happens and we gap down to 150 or we see a huge sell-off or some catalyst, right? And these things drop and they go from $1.50 to $6, right? And then I'm going to be a real happy camper. And if they don't, like I said, they're paid for, right? I'll just subtract that from this profit. I'm still happy. There's no risk that these puts cannot make me red. And that's exactly the position you want to be in. And guess what? If tomorrow, if we're holding up, guess what I'm doing again, baby? Guess what I'm doing again? So, okay, guys, that was my review of that's my review. That was my explanation here of how I traded. I think the coolest part about this trade was the fact that because the implied volatility was so high, me and some other guys in my chat, when I bought my puts here, and as we ripped up, I was still green. I was even increasing profit because, like I said, the implied volatility was so high, people got freaked out and they were buying up the lower price puts. So if you're wondering why the puts went up when the calls went up and the price went up, that's why. It's pretty ridiculous, honestly. But okay, guys, and now after this trade, I was super happy and I said, guys, I need to support BYND. They have been so kind to me over the past few weeks. Just paying bills around here, so I need to support them. I actually never had a Beyond Meat burger, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw together the couple clips here so you guys can see my journey to go get some, try the Beyond Meat patty and tell you what I think about it. So here we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's $7 for 2 of these little patties, and they smell really weird. So one of the things I heard was that these patties smell like cat food, and whoever told me that is absolutely right. They smell like straight up cat food. It's disgusting. All right, guys, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this. If 10 is a real burger and 1 is the worst burger in the world, I give these a 5 or a 4 because while the initial taste isn't bad and the texture isn't terrible, the aftertaste is just plastic. It's disgusting. And like the presentation, like look at this. the burger's red on the inside, and that's how you're supposed to cook it. It just doesn't look good. So if you're a vegan, this thing is off the chain, but like it's nowhere near comparable to a real burger. So that's how I feel about it. But hey, it wasn't bad. I mean, I liked it. My dad liked it. Overall, I give it, it's like half a burger, pretty much. But that's all I had, guys. All right, guys, and that is all I have for you today. Now, if any of you are interested in reaching out to me, I have information in the description. You can shoot me an email. You can leave a comment. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. If you're interested in joining my trading community that I'm building, there is information on my Patreon in the description below. It's real cheap, guys. It's 25 bucks a month for the chat room, and you're going to get so much value out of just being around real traders who are sitting here chasing the dream and chasing consistency and focusing on developing that bot mentality, which we talk about so often. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. You know, develop that bot mentality, which is the trading mentality where you eliminate your emotions so you can trade like a machine. Let's get ready for BYND tomorrow, guys. Deuces.